In 2040, Reito Mizuhara is cryogenically frozen after he contracts multiple sclerosis. 5 years later, Reito is cured and revived by Mira Su. Mira explains that 4 years ago, the male killer virus emerged and wiped out the male population except for him and 4 other immune men who were similarly frozen, and they are obligated to have children to save humanity from extinction. In disbelief, Reito goes outside and is quickly attacked by lust-crazed women until he is rescued. His sister Mahiru, who is now a teenager, arrives and explains that their brother Ru contracted the virus and had to be frozen to save his life. She also reveals that his childhood friend, Erisa Tachibana, went missing 3 years ago. That night, Mira attempts to seduce Reito, but he rejects her advances. The next day, Mira shows Reito several bathing girls, asking him to choose his conception partner. Shocked, he refuses and insists he must locate Erisa as she is the only woman he wants to have children with. Kyoji Hino, one of the immune men, enjoys his new life and sleeps with the actress Rina Kitayama. After Reito, Mahiru, and Mira have a meal, Reito runs into Hino, who mocks him for his hesitancy. Akane Ruzuji later ambushes Reito in the shower and attempts to seduce him, but he faints and is carried to his room. He reluctantly sleeps platonically with Akane and Sui Yamada, as Mira changed her mind and assigned them to him. The next day, Reito, Mira, Akane, and Sui examine Elisa's old laboratory for clues when they get attacked by an escaped bear, but Sui knocks it out. When he learns Erisa was working on a cure for the MK virus, Reito decides to finish her work and appears on the news to relay his goals. After Mahiru berates him, he finds a recorded message inside Elisa's old teddy bear where she reveals the MK virus is a man-made biological weapon. He confides to Mira that she resembles Erisa and apologizes for not producing babies, but she says working on a cure is indeed the better solution. Meanwhile, a council of women view Reito as a threat to their power. They then arrange for another man to be revived. In 2040, Shuta Doi is tormented by the bully Takamatsu, his girlfriend Erika, and his gang, and his only allies are his sister Mayu and his teacher Yuzuki Hanyu. He contracts an illness and is frozen, growing resentful when his classmates do not care and walk out during his goodbye speech. 5 years later, he's cured and revived by Karen Kamiya, who explains about the MK virus and that Mayu went missing. He resumes class in his old school and reunites with Yuzuki, who seduces him. He starts to bond with other girls, but gets injured by a stray volleyball. Yuzuki treats and seduces him again, while they admit they had always loved each other. Karen later reports to her superiors, who ask why they had to reopen the old school. She says Shuta and the girls do not know about Hino and Reito, so they think Shuta is the last man on Earth. As such, they will use them as pawns in their scheme to take over the world. Shuta has been sleeping with Yuzuki every day. 1 week later, Karen drags him to swimming class. Natsu Ishiju is later assigned to be his temporary roommate. After Shuta helps her get dressed, she confesses that her father gave her an arranged marriage to a much older man till they were both killed by the MK virus. She then seduces him. Meanwhile, Reito is working on the cure when Mira informs him that Mahiru works at a refugee shelter. However, she warns him that if others find out Mahiru is his sister, she may be endangered. Reito meets Hino, who reveals he had impregnated one of his girls. When Yuzuki returns, Shuta confesses that he slept with Ishiju and begs for forgiveness, but she says they all know, and he belongs to everyone. He confronts Karen and demands answers. She takes him before the class and says she reopened his old school to make him comfortable so he would mate and repopulate the planet. All the girls then strip naked before him. The council says that since Reito refuses to mate, Mira is useless and will be removed from her post. Reito has a month to make the cure before he must mate. Meanwhile, Mira is fired as Reito's attendant, even though she is allowed to stay, and is replaced by Ri Katajiri, who appears hostile towards him. Additionally, Reito is partnered with the shy virologist Maria Kuroda. The group then travels to Kimen City, where the MK virus emerged, to interview Taniguchi, the hospitalized widow of the virus' first victim. Reito reluctantly bathes with the girls in a hot spring. Taniguchi refuses to cooperate and mocks Reito for not mating. When they leave, it is revealed that Taniguchi is in contact with Erisa and wonders why Erisa will not reveal herself. In a hotel sauna, an American named Chloe attempts to seduce Reito and tricks him into kissing her just as the others walk in, angering them. Later, Mira talks with Taniguchi about how honorable Reito is and convinces her to share what she knows. However, someone sneaks in and poisons her for 2, leaving her in critical condition. Before losing consciousness, Taniguchi asks that a photo of her and her husband be given to Reito. Reito, Sui, and Maria investigate the abandoned hospital where the first victim was treated, but do not find anything. Akane deduces that Taniguchi was poisoned and suspects Ri. Ri rescues her sister from being raped by another girl. Reito scans the photo and finds incomplete blueprints to the MK virus design. Akane and Maria later warn him that people working on the cure have been disappearing. Meanwhile, bored with his harem, Hino spots Mahiru and chooses her as his next bed partner. His attendant, Naniko, informs Reito and Mahiru, who protest that she is only 16, but agree to a lunch date with Reito attending. The council orders Reito to distribute rations as a publicity stunt, while Akane reveals their leader Kihara is her mother. Ri then confesses her love to Mira, but is rejected. As Reito passes out rations, a sniper attempts to kill him, but is stopped by Ri's sister. At the lunch date, Mahiru rejects Hino, depressing him, but he sleeps with his jealous harem to placate them. Reito, Maria, Sui, and Akane discover that many of the missing doctors pass by the abandoned hospital. Karen tells Shuta he cannot leave the school until he graduates. Later, the class draw lots to choose his new roommate. Rika Yanaji wins, but he runs away to the teacher's lounge because she reminds him of Erika. Shunka Hiragi walks in and bonds with him by revealing she also used to be bullied. She then seduces him. Rika complains it was supposed to be her turn and fights Shunka, so Shuta runs away again. He calls Yuzuki, but gets no answer. Akira Tudu, the one who hit him with the volleyball, apologizes and seduces him. Karen makes a new arrangement where a girl will be assigned as his servant daily. After kissing Rika, he trips and scrapes his hand. After getting treated, Karen orders Ishiju, Shunka, and Akira to sleep with him at the same time. Shifuyu Ren Kuroda attempts to seduce him, but he refuses because she looks like a child. Karen informs him that Yuzuki moved away, angering him. Over the next few days, he becomes much more sexually aggressive with the girls. One day, Shion Hoshino, one of the girls who regularly ignored him when he was bullied, transfers in, shocking him. Shion asks several people for help, but the girls refuse due to her age. Karen explains Shion tried to become an actress, but due to the MK virus, she can only get a role if she mates with Shuta. Still angry about her ignoring him, he humiliates her by forcing her to come to class in her underwear before he mates with her in public. Afterwards, Shuta asks Karen to find someone and bring her to him. Meanwhile, Reito's group speculates the abandoned hospital is where the virus originated. Karen delivers Erika in chains where a vindictive Shuta forces her to lick him. Karen tells the girls to compete to become Shuta's main wife. Ishiju and Akira seduce him in the swimming pool. He later sleeps with several girls in various places. He brings one to his room, where Erika sits collared and acting like a dog. He asks her what happened to Takamatsu, but she does not know. After Shuta sleeps with the girl, Erika begs for her medication to counteract her drug addiction. He feeds it to her with his mouth. Reito's group returns to the abandoned hospital, and he suspects there may be clues to Elisa's location. American mercenaries led by Miss Pope and Miss Mansfield come seeking to acquire Reito. A girl in Shuta's class is contacted by Erisa, who tells her to start their plan. Shuta is seduced by several girls in the girls' bath, and then starts sleeping with them in various places. Reito's group explores the abandoned hospital, where Sui accidentally breaks a wall to reveal an air duct. They crawl through it and fall into an underground laboratory. The people inside try to kill them, but are killed in turn by the mercenaries led by Chloe, who is Ms. Mansfield. They find a time bomb, and are all forced to escape in a helicopter as the lab is destroyed. Miss Pope meets the council and arrests them after deducing the MK virus was created under their orders. Chloe reveals Erisa is a member of a terrorist group, shocking Reito. As Shita sleeps with several girls at once, Shion attempts to escape the school, but is apprehended by Karen. Shuta returns to his room and takes pity on a sleeping Erika, covering her with a blanket. Suddenly, the school is rocked by explosions. Reito's group sees the explosions while Chloe is informed terrorists have kidnapped a man. Shuta wakes up in the hospital where Karen explains terrorists tried and failed to kidnap him. She is surprised that he shielded Erika, and reveals there are other men out there. He asks her why she does not sleep with him, and she says she wants to rule the world. He agrees to help her. Elisa's terrorists abducted a man in stasis, Zen Kinabuchi. Chloe's group takes over Japan and orders Hino to stop mating until the terrorists are dealt with. He agrees, but is angered when Chloe separates him from his girls. Akane reveals Kihara and the other council members will be put on trial for creating the MK virus, so Reito helps her visit her in her cell. Erisa hacks the airwaves to reveal her group is called Izanami, who are not terrorists, but a group of rebels against the UW. They claim all the world leaders created the virus to wipe out men and create a world of only women, and that Izanami aims to save the men. They demand all the men in stasis and those who are awake to be turned over to them. Reito's group decides Chloe cannot be trusted and that they must escape. They suddenly find Shuta and Karen in Reito's room. In a flashback, Karen performed a procedure on Shuta to make him slightly older and no longer need glasses. Back in the present, they meet Chloe and bring Shuta's girls with them, briefly reuniting Maria with her little sister, Shifuyu. Meanwhile, Reito meets Mira and urges her to escape with them, but she will only agree if he mates with her, which he refuses. Suddenly, Miss Pope arrests them, Akane and Sui, saying they will be taken to America, but Ri and Maria knock her out and they escape to Mahiru's shelter. Shuta and Karen make a deal with Chloe to allow Shuta to keep mating and make Karen the ruler of Japan. Reito's group gets on a ship owned by Izanami that is headed to Taiwan, but Ri and Mira stay behind and are arrested. Hino calls Reito and wishes him luck, but he will not leave his girls, whom Chloe imprisoned, behind. Chloe has Miss Pope stripped and whipped for her failure, saying she will wipe out all men. After Shuta sleeps with his girls, he spots the imprisoned Rina and chooses her as his next conquest. The ship lands where Reito finally reunites